All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest stories unfolding in the world right now. It's all about India's youth and this massive divide between their dreams and the reality they're actually living. It's a story of huge ambition meeting some even bigger challenges. And I want you to really think about that for a second. This isn't just a saying. For hundreds of millions of young people in India, this is their life. So, how are they dealing with it? Well, let's start with the dreams. First up, we've got to understand what this generation actually wants, because we're talking about a generation whose dreams aren't just big, they're completely different from anything we've seen before. I mean, thanks to social media and the internet, the world has shrunk. The old dream of just getting a stable government job, that's not the goal anymore. Young Indians want to be entrepreneurs, creators, innovators. They're looking to make a mark on the whole world. And this slide right here just nails the central conflict. On one side, you've got the traditional, safe jobs that parents often push for, right? Doctor, engineer, you know the drill. But on the other side, you've got the real passions of this new generation. And that clash, it creates this intense pressure cooker environment when you're trying to figure out your future. But all those big dreams, well, they're about to run headfirst into a giant wall, the reality of the job hunt. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This is the moment where those dreams, all shaped by a digital world, collide with the cold, hard facts of the economy. And this just shows you the insane scale of the problem. Over 10 million graduates enter the workforce in India every single year. Every single year. And they're all fighting for a pretty small number of formal, secure jobs. This leads to these ridiculously competitive exams where, for some government jobs, the acceptance rate is less than 1%. It's wild. And here's the kicker. That university degree isn't the golden ticket it used to be. There's a huge skills gap. A lot of graduates are finding out that what they learned in the classroom doesn't really line up with the practical skills that companies are looking for right now. But the challenges don't just stop with the job market. Oh no. There's a whole other layer to this, a really complex societal maze that young people have to find their way through. Because even if you've got all the talent and ambition in the world, these deep-rooted structures still play a massive role. Things like your gender, whether you grew up in a city or a village, even the old social hierarchy of caste, they can all seriously shape and often limit the opportunities you get. And we have to talk about the human cost of all this. The constant pressure from family, from society, from just the sheer competition, it takes a huge mental toll. Stress and anxiety are incredibly common as this generation just tries to find its way in this sea of uncertainty. So, in the face of all these challenges, a new map is being drawn. Young people are carving out their own paths, but these new routes, they come with a whole new set of rules and risks. And a huge piece of this new map is the gig economy. It's basically a massive shift away from that old idea of a single career for life. Now it's all about short-term contracts and freelance work. And this slide really lays out the trade-off perfectly. The promise? It's amazing. Flexibility, being your own boss, who doesn't want that? But the reality for a lot of people is a constant hustle. No job security, no benefits, no safety net. It's a kind of freedom, for sure, but it comes at a price. But it's not all about insecurity. Amidst all the challenges, there are some really bright spots. You've got these new sectors, like the green economy and the digital economy, that are just exploding with opportunity. They're creating totally new career paths, all powered by the energy of this generation. This brings us to a really critical question. The government has launched these huge programs like Skill India to try and help. But are these big, top-down initiatives really enough to deal with the sheer size of the problem? Can they truly bridge that gap between what people dream of and the opportunities that are actually there? So when you put all these pieces together, the dreams, the hurdles, the brand new paths people are taking, it becomes really clear that India is standing at a massive crossroads. And this is what's at stake. I mean, the two paths could not be more different. If India can figure out how to harness all this youthful energy, it could become an economic powerhouse that powers the whole world. But if it fails, the reality could be a massive crisis of unemployment and social unrest. Ultimately, though, through all of this, the one thing that's constant is just how incredibly resilient and adaptable India's young people are. They are figuring out how to navigate this unbelievably complex world, and they're finding ways to thrive against the odds.
And so, we're left with this one big question. The journey of this single generation is going to have huge consequences, not just for India, but for the entire world. Their story is being written right now, and the ending is anything but certain.